Good morning, students. So, in this session, we discuss about a simple code generator. So, to generate the any target code, for that purpose, basically we use some basic algorithm. So, with the help of that algorithm, we can generate some target code. So, in this process, we consider some single basic block. So, already in last session, we discussed what is meant by basic block. So, to generate the target code for the given three address code representation, so that three address code can be divided into some number of basic blocks. So now we consider single basic block, and then with the help of some basic algorithm we can develop the target code for that particular basic block. So in this process, which considers the three address instructions and keeps track of the what values are in what registers. That means whatever the values are used in that particular three address instruction, and such values are stored in which registers. So such information can be necessary to load the to load and store the such values into the registers. For that purpose, we can gather whatever the several values are required to complete that particular basic block, and then that particular values can be stored in which register locations are in which registers. So in this process, one of the primary issue is during the code generation, so which is deciding how to use registers to best advantage. So that means, so in the process of code generation, the major problem is how to allocate or how to use some registers to generating or to storing the some values into that particular registers. So with the help of this one, we can observe several properties. Based on such properties, we can choose whatever the register is helpful to store that particular value at the time of execution or at the time of runtime. So in most machine architectures, some are all the operands of an operation. So that means while we will go for performing any instruction, which is the combination of operator and operands. So in this, each and every machine or at maximum machine architectures, so these operands of an operation must be in registers. So that means to complete that particular instruction or that particular operation, so it must, that particular machine architecture can store both operands and then operation, both can be stored in the register memory to performing the that particular operation. So in this process, registers are make good temporaries. That means these registers are helpful to temporarily store some values in the registers to complete the that particular operation or that particular instruction execution. So in this process, the result of any expression can have some sub expression. So while a larger expression is being evaluated, so that means while we will go for evaluating this some large expression, at that time that particular expression may or may not having some sub expressions. So in case that particular instruction can have some sub expression, so then then a place to hold such variables that is used only within a single basic block. So in this so whenever we will go for evaluating this some expression, in case that is some large expression, so of course which can allow some sub expressions, at that situation we can choose to store all values within the single basic block. So all values belongs to the single basic block at a time. So after completion of that one, we can choose the same registers for allocating or storing the another basic block values. So here, so these registers are used especially used to store the global values. So that means such values are stored, and then that particular values can be evaluated. So that particular values can be used to evaluate the another basic blocks. So for example, we consider some loops. So initially that particular loop can be initializes with some global variable like either I equal to 1. After that it can perform the number of iterations for incrementing the I value like I plus 1. So that means actually I value is declared at globally. That means not inside that particular loop, outside of the loop or another basic block. Then that particular value can be used in entire program. So for the entire program in this manner. So to implement such type of things, the algorithm in this session we will go to discuss. So we assume that some set of registers is available to hold the values that are used within the block. So that means, so whatever the total number of registers, out of those registers we assume some set of registers only available to store the values to store the values related to the that particular block or that particular basic block. So but remaining variables, what about remaining registers or remaining variables are stored, remaining registers are used for storing the reserved variables, that means some global variables. So whatever the variables was reserved or used by the another basic blocks initially, or all basic blocks can use some common variable. Such type of variables purpose we can reserve some registers, so those registers can store global variables. Remaining set of registers can be used to evaluate the each and every basic block or some block of the code. So for example, we consider the machine instructions like as load register memory, either store memory register, either operator register. So that means here each and every operator there is exactly one machine instruction. So to evaluate each and every operator like load, store operator or anything, any operator, so which exactly there is exactly only one machine instruction. So that machine instruction can take necessary operands in registers to complete that particular instruction. So to complete that particular exact operation or exact instruction, so it takes their values, what are the values required to complete that particular operation. So for that purpose, so this instruction is responsible for storing the such values into the registers, and then which is also responsible for leaving whatever the registers was used to complete that particular instruction. So now we observe how registers and addresses can be descriptors. So in code generation algorithm, so we consider each three address instruction in turn and decides what loads are necessary to get the needed operands into registers. So that means while we will go for generating the code generation, while we will go for using the code generation algorithm, so in this process, so each and every three address instruction can turn into decides what loads are necessary to get the needed operands into registers. That means here each and every three address instruction can responsible for decide whatever the mandatory values to store in the registers, whatever the optional values to store in the registers. So after generating these loads, so it generates the operation itself. So then there is a need to store result into a memory location, and it also generates the store. So that means while we will go for evaluating any target code for any three address code instruction, so in this process each and every three address code instruction is responsible for decides the whatever the mandatory values to evaluate that particular instruction, whatever the not mandatory values to evaluate that particular instruction. So and then which was also responsible for to allocate the memory location or to allocate the registers to complete that particular instruction, whatever the variables or whatever the values was required. So such values can be stored into the registers after completion of that particular instruction, so which is also responsible for leaving that particular registers for another variable purpose. So in this process, in order to make these needed decisions, we require some data structure. So that data structure tells what program variables currently used registers and what variables are currently not using the register. So with the help of this data structure, so we can easily decide whatever the register values are currently used by the program, whatever the registers are not currently used by the program. So based on this information, we can remove or restore whatever the currently not used registers by any other instructions or any other values. So such registers can be allocated for any other instruction. So for that purpose, the data structure was having basically two functionalities. Those are, so for each available register, a register descriptor. So here it was maintains two functions. One is the register descriptor and another one is the address descriptor. So here register descriptor is used for keep track of keep track of keep track of the variable names. So that means whatever the variables are currently used in some registers, so such information can be maintained by the register descriptor. At the same way, here address descriptor, so which was helpful, or which is the responsible for keep track of the location or locations where the current value of that variable can be found. So that means that particular value can be found in which location, which register location. So such type of information can be maintained by one more descriptor, that is address descriptor. So this address descriptor is responsible for keep track of wherever the location, and register descriptor is responsible for keep track of whatever the values we are using to complete the particular instruction. Such values can be available in which registers. So with the help of these two functionalities, so we can easily allocate the registers for any 3 address code instruction while during the execution. And next, the code generation algorithm. So here while we are going to generating the target code, we are using some code generation algorithm. In this algorithm, the major part of this algorithm is get register. So this function is the major part of the code generation algorithm. So here this function is responsible for select the registers. So it select the registers for each memory location. So each memory location associated with the 3 address code instruction. So here with the help of this get register function, this function is responsible for select the register for each and every memory location associated with the 3 address code instruction. For example, we mentioned get register of I. So then this function is responsible for allocating the register memory allocation for instruction I. So here this function get register has access to the register and address descriptions. That means which was having the capabilities of accessing the both. So that is register descriptor and address descriptor. So for the all variables of the basic block. So and which was also have access to certain useful data flow information such as the variables that are live or exit from the block. So here this get register function having the capabilities of both functionalities like memory descriptor and address descriptor and register descriptor, both can be handled by this function register. Additional to this, which was also having the capable of accessing the data flow information. So with the help of these 3 things, so it can able to allocate the registers for any 3 address code instruction. So while we are going to develop, while we are going to discussing about get register function, so in case we don't know about whatever the total number of registers are available to store local data, in that situation, so we assume that there are enough registers to store local data in the registers. So then, which is the response, then there is enough registers to accomplish any 3 address operations. So that means, so actually while we will go for utilizing while we will go for using the get register function, so in that situation, in case we don't know about how many registers are required to complete to allocating that particular instruction related registers, so still we assume there is enough registers is still available to store that particular instruction, then we can pass that, then we can allocate registers for that particular instruction. So for example, we consider there is some 3 address code like x equals to y plus z, then we treat plus is the arithmetic operator, so that means some generic operator, so and which adds the values of equivalent machine instructions. So that means which adds these 2 values, whatever the value stored, wherever the value was stored for y and z. So these 2 values can be performing the addition, and then result can be stored into one more registers. So that means while we will go for implementing the operation, so the value of y must be in the second register, and the value of x must be in, the value of z must be in third register. So in this manner, so it can combines the both register values and then store it into another register. So this is the one possibility. So here to overcoming such problems, whatever the value of first operand exactly in first register, another operand in second registers, to avoiding such type of circumstances, we can use commutative operator. So with the help of this, we can store such operator values in R1 or R2 in any manners. So for that purpose, we are using the commutative operator. So and finally, we discuss about how we will go for designing the get register function. So here let us consider how to implement the get register of instruction. So for a 3 address code instruction I. So in this process there are many options, although there are also some absolute prohibitions against choices that leads the incorrect code due to the loss of the value of one or more live variables. So that means while we will go for implementing the get register function, so in this process we are having many options. So out of those we can choose whatever the proper or whatever the reasonable methods or preferable options to overcoming the losses. So for that purpose we begin our examination. So with the case of an operation step. So for which we again use x equals to y plus z. So that means for simply we assume there is some example or some instruction like x equals to y plus z as the generic example. So here generic example means here y value can be stored in either R1 and z value can be stored in R2. So then we can able to performing the addition. Otherwise z value can be stored in R1 and y value can be stored in R2. So then also we can able to performing the addition. So in this process, to implement that particular instruction related execution or target code generation, so we use the several rules. Those are, if y is currently in a register, so that means y value is currently available in a register, then we pick that particular register already contained y as ry. So that means we assume so that y value is already stored in register y. So then we collect such particular register, and there was no issues in machine instructions to load this particular register. So this is the one situation. And another rule is, if y is not in a register, that means y value is already not available in register, but there is some register that is currently empty. So then we can assign that we can use that particular register to assign the value of y. So that is another rule. So and third rule is, which was some difficult case. So here when y is not in, there was no y value is not stored in the register, and then also there is no empty register is available to store or to load the y value currently. So then we pick one of the allowable registers anyway. So that means in this situation we can pick whatever the allowable registers are available in any others. So then we can pick that particular registers and complete the execution. So these are the details about a simple code generator. Thank you.